Hello, hello! I hope you are well. Welcome to my new subscribers. Today I'm going to give it another try with the high white resin from Resin Pro. You have this polyurethane resin that I've already tried on small pendants. This time I'm going to make a coaster. I'm going to do the Waterdrop effect first, and then I'm going to pour this resin over it. And I have two coasters that have been lying around for a while. They are not full. I'm going to top them with the polyurethane resin and see if there's a clear demarcation, if the two resins adhere well to each other and these things. So this is my little test today. I put my mask and open my window, and I prepare my UV resin. I've got some UV resin left in this bottle. I'll try to finish it off. Ah, damn, I haven't got my gloves. So I put on the mask, but not my gloves. Yes. Safety, safety, the first. Always wear your safety equipment. So I'm going to pour this UV resin to create the Waterdrop effect. So let's go. Oof! Those are big drops. Yes, really big. Oh my gosh, too big. And I had quite a bit of resin left in this bottle. I must have a little wipe to clean it all up. I'm also removing a drop that has run where I didn't want it to go into the coaster's throat. I remove the bubbles with the toothpick and a quick blast with my lighter, and I set to hardening under the UV lamp. Now I'm going to apply my Chameleon powder. This Chameleon powder is from Let's Resin, and I choose plum. Why not? Plum, okay. We'll see if it works. I'm going to cover my entire base. I'm not going to go into too much detail or anything else. I'll see if I get the effect I want with my polyurethane resin. In my opinion, there's no reason why it shouldn't work. But it's always better to test for yourself. I'm going to tint one of the components of my polyurethane resin. I'm going to tint component A, which is transparent. The other is slightly whitish. And then I'm going to add component B and pour into my coaster. We'll see. So I'll add a few drops of black into the component A and see what happens. The B is really whitish, so I prefer in the A. So I put 5 or 6 drops, I think. And then, of course, I mix well. And you will see I add more drops. I put at least 10 drops, I think. Yes, but it's still transparent. Resin inks are really light and transparent, so I'm going to look for something stronger because I want a black, a really black. So I'm going to find something else. And I'm using the black epoxy paste from Mrs. Colorberry, hoping it mixes well. But I know that it's a very beautiful black, so because I want black, I put black. I put just a drop and mix carefully. And yes, this time, yes, it's black. The inks are really very light, so it's always transparent. This time I have black. Will it stay black? Suspense. You'll see if you stay with me until the end of the video. In the meantime, it's as black as I want. So I'm going to pour the component B. But I can see some lumps, but no, just one or two. I don't know, it's weird. Last time I didn't get any lumps in this component. I don't know what's causing it. And now I'm going to mix for a minute. I'll check with my computer. That's it. I pour into my coaster. Okay, that's done. And then I have this one, which, as I was telling you, is old. And I pour the rest of this black. And for once, the measurements are perfect. I've got exactly what I need. I'm getting very good at it. With the second coaster, I'm going to be able to check if the junction is going well, if everything's holding together, if there's not ugly demarcation. So I have to rectify my support because my table isn't level. I'm going to prepare a second batch. I leave it white, this one, so we can see if the demarcation is good and if it dries well, etc. I'll prepare my resin and I'll be back in a second. I have to readjust a little more because it's not quite straight. And you can see it's turning grey. Yes, my black is turning grey. Oh no. So come on, it doesn't matter, but I'm not very happy with that. I wanted to cut this part of this video, but I leave it for you. Speed it up by 9 or 10, so you can see how my black is turning grey and how fast it's going. Oh, I'm desperate. Okay, my resin is ready, so I pour into my other coaster. So far the resin has a slightly whitish tint. But no problem. I realize that I've got a sort of trickle hanging over the rim of my cap. And yes, I've just made it. I can't believe it's already setting, gelling. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to scrape my cap a bit, but there's no more liquid. Maybe what I'm adding here wasn't such a good idea. I'm very, very surprised. It went so fast today. It didn't even wait a minute. I stirred and poured immediately. Well, we'll see. So now it's nice and cold. so I can unmold. I'm checking that it's cold. Let's see this one. Well, the resin hasn't seeped through. That's good. I'm happy with that. And now I've got a big block in the middle because I added the rest of my cup just as it was starting to get gelatinous. So I'm thinking about whether I should turn off my air conditioning when I'm working on with this resin. I can't feel any demarcation between the two coats. That's really a good thing. Okay. The other one, as I said, the black has become all gray, so it's not very pretty, especially with the gold. So here it's the same, it blended well, no problem. And you see, I feel absolutely nothing between the two coats. I have had this coaster in its mold for a long time, and I've been moving it around. I've got a tiny bit of polyurethane resin that's seeped in, but it's really not a big deal. So it's funny the way the back looks. It's a bit like it were a coating, I don't know, leather, something like that. It's not bad, it doesn't bother me too much. So, with my teardrops or water drop effect, what does it look like? Here I overfilled it though. I've got a little overflow, and as this resin sets so quickly, it didn't run down the sides, but rather remain frozen. And I can tell you that I had really hard time to removing it. Well, you can see the water drop effect. I don't like that grayish coloring with the Chameleon powder. It's not good. I've got my water drop effect with my powder plum Chameleon. Yes, if it gives pretty highlights, but I've noticed that I've got lot of bubbles, lot of air bubbles. And as I told you, there's no time for bubble hunting with this resin. It's impossible. I don't particularly like the effect, and as I said, I had trouble removing the overflow. I took my little deburring tool, but I couldn't do, and I had to sand it down to smooth it out. So okay, result of my test. Let's not get complicated. You can easily complete a mold where there's epoxy. I'd recommend completing in white. Yes, for coloring, I'll do some more tests. You really have to choose the right color. In any case, not the black. It's prettier in white. It's a thing after all, and this white is pretty. This resin pastelize the colors, and the blacks it makes it gray. And I think the other colors will become very pastel. But I'll also try powder pigment and see what happens. So that's it for this little test. Another. So I don't know if this resin will be my cup of tea. It's still very particular. The big advantage is that it dries in half an hour. You really have to wait for it to dry, for it to cool down. It was hard after 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour maximum, but it was still hot, so I waited half an hour before unmolding. If you want to do certain things quickly, well, yes, why not? I don't know, though. I'll have to think carefully about what I'm going to use it for. I see some things where I want things to be white, like pendants, things like that. Well, that's not a problem. In any case, it makes a good join with the epoxy resin. No problem, no demarcation. I think it's a great advantage. So why not another coaster in black with epoxy resin and after the polyurethane resin? Why not? So you have all the products in the description box under the video. I think we will meet again very soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.